Hello guys, today we have another video and today we're going to be doing top k frequent elements, right? Given an integer of arrays, an integer k, return the k most frequent elements within the array, right? So here we have an array and we're going to print out the things with at least two of the most frequent elements. And here, for example, we have 2 and 3, which seems about right. So here we're going to be using a min heap and counters from the Python library, right? So from collections, we are going to import counter to keep track of the frequency and the value, right? We're going to import heap q to use our min heap, right? So we're going to have our counter equals counter nums. And then we're going to have our heap as an empty list, right? So basically how this is going to work, right, is here's our example right here. The counter is going to give us this right here. It's going to give us the value and then the frequency of how many there is, right? We have 1, 1, and we have 2, 2s, and then we have 3, 3s. This is supposed to be a 3. We have 3 3s, right? And then our heap will basically do this. We're going to go into a loop, and basically we are going to push our values here in a frequency to, like, we're going to put it in a tuple, right, where it gives frequency and then the value, right, because we are looking for the top most frequent. So if we were going to do that, it's going to first add 1, 1. It's going to add 1, 1 into the heap, and then it's going to add then 2, 2 into the heap. But the least amount of k frequent will be at the top, right? And then here is where we're going to add 3, 3. 3, 3 is going to appear here, but now we have surpassed the 2 increment, right? The 2 most frequent elements that it's asking for. It only wants 2, right? So then in this case, we are going to use the heap q push pop method, right? We're going to push 3, 3 in and then pop the top one out. And then from there, we can just return this, and that's all we need. And that's going to look like this. So for key and the value in our counter.items, right, if the length of the heap is less than 2, or less than the key, less than k, right, because it wants k amount, right, then we can just keep on adding it, right? So we're going to do heap q dot heap push the heap, and then we want it in frequency to value, right? So our value is our frequency and our key is the value. So val key, because we want the top k frequent elements, we don't care about the value, right? So else we are going to do the push pop, right? Because now we have surpassed the frequent element. We will then push off the top piece, which is the least frequent, and then add in the other. So heap q dot heap push pop, the same thing, heap, and then we're going to do the value and the key. And then from here, we're just going to return the for h in heap, right? This means we want the key, right? We want the value. If we were to do 0, this means we would be printing out the frequency, but 1 means that we want the key. So it's going to look like that, right? Because we switched it from the frequency to the value. And that is basically what this means, right? So we are going to loop and then print out each value inside of our list. Let's see if it works. And it works. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys find this interesting. I'm sorry if today sounds really bad. Just super out of it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.